be reading to you chapter 2, pages for lesson 3. This is for Monday. So if you already didn't do this, please go in and review chapter 1 for yourself since it's been a few days since we've read it. Just make sure you know the characters and the settings and kind of the challenges that they're facing right now to get us ready for chapter 2. And we're going to read half of chapter 2 today, half of chapter 2 tomorrow, and then we're going to read all of chapter 3 on Wednesday. So stay tuned. Here's chapter 2. As I predicted, in so little time, so much has changed. Perhaps Berry Blue was referring to her hairdo, woven with leaves to make her look like a forest nymph. Now the Walpoles were on the TV screen, and they didn't cut as pretty as a picture. Mrs. Walpole had just emitted a blood-curdling cry that shook the forest to its roots after a spider had used her hand as a landing pad. I think we all know Mrs. Spinelli would cry as well. We need a fire to keep creepy crawlies away, said Mr. Walpole frantically. Oliver inhaled deeply. Dad, the matches are all wet. Oh, great. Let's play the blame game, said Harvey Walpole. Your mom was half drowning in the waves, and you wanted me to think about matches? The water they'd waded through to come ashore had only been knee-deep, but Oliver bit his lip. This was probably not the best time to make a point. It's too sticky for a fire anyway, said Mrs. Walpole, lifting one perfectly arched eyebrow, and it makes my hair frizz. These are some interesting pictures today. Oliver said nothing. He was looking at the jungle canopy towering above them like a 30-story building. Up. It seemed the only way to escape a forest floor teeming with bugs was to go up. But the thought of it made him a little lightheaded. He stared at the buttress roots propping up the tallest trees and masses of vines and creepers that looked like spaghetti. The thought of food made Oliver's stomach rumble. The creepers weren't for eating, but they were as thick as a man's arm, twisting and twining up to the sun. Maybe they had other uses. Let's make a camp, he shouted. We can cut these creepers and build somewhere to sleep. I'll handle that, said Mr. Walpole gallantly, and Oliver heaved an inward sigh of relief. The family spat had been postponed, at least for now. Mr. Garcia was also looking up, which explained why his foot got caught in a mess of tangled roots. His ankle throbbed painfully, but his heart jumped. Water, food, fuel, and shelter. This was it. Coconut palms, said Gabriella, feeling thankful for these drift seeds that had traveled across oceans and on currents to take root on this remote island. She shot her father a worried look as he extricated his foot, wincing. Are you okay, Papa? He nodded, although a red-hot flash of pain surged through his leg. As they trudged forward, the mud clenching around their feet. The tide was coming in faster than they had expected, submerging their swampy jetty and threatening to overcome them. Sprained ankle or not, they would have to keep moving, even if every movement was excruciatingly slow. They clambered to dry land as the tide rose higher. We'll splash palm leaves together for our shelter here, said Gabriella, recalling all the survival adventures she'd watched on TV and read about in books. They make it look so easy. Save some palm fronds for the ground to insulate us, she said, and saw the agreement on her father's face. Then he looked away. Gabrielle's father had never stepped foot out of their little town where he was born, and now they were in a mangrove swamp. There would be rising tides and hungry crocodiles, as well as the leeches and snakes that he'd hoped the palm fronds would protect them from. Gabriella was glad she didn't have to spell it out for him. Great job today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure to double check those questions in the page for today. And then you can continue to work on your ecosystem outline. I'm going to try and give you some feedback so that you can look up some more things. And then you'll be done for the day. So enjoy your Monday. I'll see you soon.